Hey everybody, MorbTron here. Today we are looking at another returning weapon that was refreshed and brought back for Season 11. It is the IKELOS SMG version 1.0.2. You can get your hands on this thing after, well, you should have it done by now, completing the first part of the story mission to get Traveler's Judgment from Zavala. Who knows when that quest will continue, but after you complete those quests, you can actually farm for these things through the Prismatic Recaster. And it is a mean little SMG. And honestly, when I saw it was re-released, I didn't care. Because the 750s were in such a bad spot up until a while ago. They recently got a huge buff that made them much more stable and accurate. So they're actually worth using now. And Demolitionist, I would say, is an incredibly underrated perk when it comes to weapon traits. You know, getting your grenade ability back faster and reloading the weapon when you throw the grenade is a great perk. And I wish Bungie would come out with more perks like that. That would allow you to build more synergy with your weapon loadout and not just, you know, pew harder with a damage boost. But with the way that the range works on this weapon, if you see threat detector pop up, you know that you are within the maximum range of the weapon. You see him hitting for 851, go up close, it's 851. You get outside of the threat detector range, even just a little bit, and you'll see the damage starts to drop off. So this weapon pairs up perfectly with threat detector. So if you see that threat detector in the bottom left corner, you know you are within maximum range. But this thing isn't just good in the Crucible. That's the nutty thing about it. It's also really good in PvE. And the reason why it is so good in PvE is, of course, because of Demolitionist and just how much damage this thing does and just mows through enemies. It is fantastic. And I gotta say, the reload speed masterwork, yeah, it doesn't hurt for sure. Being able to just reload the weapon super quick, and you see how fast I'm getting my grenade back with these kills. And even these nightmares, these elite targets, are getting mowed down by this SMG. It is absolutely fantastic. Honestly, I'm gonna be trying to do like a primary or a kinetic, or not a kinetic weapon only, but like a double primary build for Crucible based around this weapon, and this weapon specifically, because it's so good at countering shotguns, because you can just basically backpedal, and hey presto, most of the time, a shotgunner is not going to be able to close the distance before you can take them down with this SMG, especially if you can hit their head. But let's take this thing into the Crucible and see what exactly it can do. Now, this is the weapon loadout I'm using and the armor loadout I'm using. Yes, I'm using One-Eyed Mask because it's really not that OP anymore. But I'm using Bastion and the IKELOS SMG because they're fun. They're good weapons. Bastion is really good for shutting down supers, especially like Spectral Blades and Striker Titan. Fantastic, because they usually just run it in a straight line and you can plow them over. But let's get into that juicy PvP content. Okay, so for this video here, I usually do live commentary when it comes down to the PvP portion of my review videos, but I wanted to put as much effort into learning the weapon as possible, which this is a weapon in Crucible specifically, where you do have to kind of learn, you know, its range, learn its, you know, zoom factor when aiming. I was pretty new to this weapon when I recorded this, so that's why this is post-commentary. But this thing absolutely rips through enemies like you're seeing here. As long as you are within that 12-meter range, that threat detector range, you will completely annihilate your enemy. And if you're going up against a shotgunner, just backpedal. Backpedal, maybe jump up into the air. Most of the time, you know, they're probably going to try to slide at you, something like that, or come around the corner. Basically, the only time a shotgunner is going to be able to outgun you using this SMG is when you don't know where they are or that they're coming towards you. If you get the jump on a shotgunner, you win with this SMG, and it is so fun to use. I gotta say, it's a blast, and I'm gonna be making another video doing like a double primary build using this SMG, because special weapons in general, I think right now, are just too prevalent in the Crucible. I don't think they need to go away like they did way back in Destiny 1 when they basically took away our special ammo. or especially not like the start of Destiny 2 when we didn't have special weapons, but I think they need to be dialed in a little bit, reeled back, if you will. And I think, you know, a double primary build using a mean little SMG is definitely a way to do that. So look for that video coming out in the next few days for sure, possibly even tomorrow if I get the footage for it. But you'll see here, you know, this SMG does fall short a little bit when it comes down to, you know, how many rounds are in the mag. I would love to have there be like 4 or 5 more rounds in the magazine, but I don't know if it'd be worth using a backup mag mod in order to do that. I'd have to play around with it a little bit more. Basically, I just right away just equipped an Icarus script mod on it because that's what I do with most of my legendary primary weapons, but might be worth using backup mag if the aerial accuracy is still good enough, because right now it shoots its bullets exactly where you're pointing the gun when you're in the air with an Icarus script mod, and I do rather enjoy that. But being able to have Demolitionist as well in PvP, I mean, granted there isn't the damage boosting, there's no rampage, there's no kill clip, there's no multi-kill clip, there's no damage booster available for this SMG, but you can boost your damage in other ways. You know, if you're a bottom tree Sunbreaker Titan, you can get the Sun Warrior buff. That boosts your weapon damage as well, which is really, really nice. But I don't really think that this SMG needs it, and I honestly don't want Bungie to force us to crutch on those traits on weapons. It gets boring having the same perks and traits be the meta on every single weapon. It gets old real fast, and I like variety. And this this SMG is that variety, so I've been having so much fun with it. So, like I said earlier, the way that you get it is you can turn in Umbral Engrams at the Prismatic Recaster. It's one of the options that you have to get this SMG once you've completed the first quest step from Zavala to get the Traveler's Judgment exotic sidearm. You have to go around to Mars, Mercury, Io, and Titan, do a bunch of stuff for the commanders there, and then basically you can get engrams that will give you this SMG, plus you unlock the ability to focus your Umbral Engrams in order to get this as well. And it's definitely an SMG worth getting. Now, you can get a roll that has more range to it, just with the Masterwork specifically, but you can also get the Seraph rounds. That does increase your range like Ricochet rounds do. It just doesn't specifically say that, but it does. It offers the same kind of range boost as Ricochet rounds do. And it wouldn't hurt the SMG for sure to have a little bit more range to it, because right now even like 150 RPM hand cannons like the Dire Promise and the Spare Rations, they will outrange you. And if you're going, you know, for a primary duel, if you are at max range, a hand cannon will more than likely win that duel. And speaking of it, you know, going up against other primary weapons, something like the Gnawing Hunger specifically, you know, other 600 RPM autos, they're not as stable. They don't have as much range as a Gnawing Hunger, so that's more of an even primary comparison. But comparing it to like a Godroll Gnawing Hunger, I mean, the Gnawing Hunger outranges pulse rifles more often than not, and can out-damage even some heavy machine guns with kill clip. So it's just an absolutely ridiculous weapon. But here, this one, it's a great weapon to go for. I would highly advise getting a god roll of this weapon. You know, something that has Demolitionist on it for sure. Maybe go for a couple other rolls. There aren't any damage increasing perks on this weapon, so if you're one of those people that only uses weapons that can roll with like kill clip or multi-kill clip or rampage or whatever your preferred weapon booster or weapon damage booster is, not happening on this weapon. But it, like I said, it doesn't need it. It rips people apart. That guy with that sniper rifle, dunzo. This guy with this sniper rifle, watch this. He thinks he's gonna get me, right? Bam. Just gets shotgun aped because he's just staring me down through my shield. That's the best thing ever. I love that part of this video. But that is going to be it for this one. So if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button for me. I would greatly appreciate it. If you're new here, subscribe for more content. But do not forget to have a good day, everybody, and I will catch you all next time.